Very much for being with us on UBC TV. Welcome to Good Morning Uganda Extra, away from sports. Now we come in with this extension of Good Morning Uganda, and still I have a guest with whom we are going to be discussing something very, very important to our lives. Now this is a matter of life and death. You either have it or you're gone. And that is issues regarding blood. The moment you're out of blood is a ticket. You're going to meet your Creator. But it is not necessarily blood that you're talking about. It is a conference. Some would love to call it a congress that is going to be hosted in Uganda, the 11th Africa Society for Blood Transfusion Congress that will be at the Speak Resort Munyonyo starting with the 11th. And joining me on set to discuss this is Michael Mukundane Chakamara, who happens to be the coordinator blood donor services at the Uganda Blood Transfusion Services Ministry of Health. You're most welcome.
Thank you.
Now, to begin with, let's start with blood itself, away from the conference that is going to happen.
Yeah.
But how are we doing as a country when it comes to issues of blood in our blood banks?
In our blood bank today, good morning viewers in the first place. We're not doing very bad. We are sustaining blood transfusion services in this country. We are collecting blood, we are processing blood, and we are issuing blood to health facilities that are accredited to transfuse this blood to patients that have severe anemia in this country. We are working with many partners. We are working with our Ministry of Health, the Mother Ministry. We are working with the Uganda Red Cross Society. We are working with the corporate institutions out there, civil society. We are working with faith-based organizations. We are working with schools, the military, and the police, the forces, in trying to ensure that we have blood in this country. Blood transfusion services start with collection of a unit of blood. And in this case, a blood donor is the most key partner in this service. The blood donor out there, whom today I send my greetings and thanks and appreciation for the contribution they are making in this country. We are not doing bad in terms of stocks because in the past few weeks, we had issues of our stocks going low, but now we are stabilizing. Since our largest blood donor base, the schools are back in active service at school, and we are beginning to collect. And our communication and our gospel on blood donation has also gone out to appeal to the communities out there, the non-school going communities. And many people, many individuals, many institutions are coming on board today, and they are donating blood, and we are really sustaining the blood transfusion service in this country.
Now, that said, let's look at the Africa Society for Blood Transfusion Congress. What is this all about?
The African Society for Blood Transfusion Congress is a congress where countries in Africa gather, they meet, and they make presentations, they showcase many developments, innovations, and advancements in science on how to continuously improve the blood transfusion services in the country. These countries in Africa are equally joined by partners who are scientists, the medical fraternity in the world, like members of the American Blood Transfusion Services, the European Blood Transfusion Services, the Asian Blood Transfusion Services. They all join in this congress. It's an international congress. And they share knowledge, expertise, and experience, researched papers in the medical field and the scientific field, and contribute to science in making blood transfusion services better in terms of quality, in terms of sustainability, see that the transfusion services in these countries in the world are better every other day in making sure that a safe unit of blood is what is transfused to the individuals that need it, in making sure that there is efficiency in blood transfusion services in this world.
Now, we are going to be having this in Uganda starting from the 11th, and that is at Speak Resort Munyonyo. Now, let's also understand, apart from sharing experiences together as you people in this sector, what more do we benefit as a country in hosting this?
Yeah, definitely we shall have to learn more in the advancement of the technologies. Our theme is adopting new innovations and advancements in the new technologies. These technologies start with the blood collection. How are we collecting blood? What technologies are there? It's not a question of going to draw blood. What advanced equipment is there? You know, with collection of blood, this blood has a lot of components, for example. Can we only continue collecting whole blood? Or we can even pick out a component like blood cells, red blood cells. Can we only collect plasma? We shall have like plasma apheresis, studies on plasma apheresis, studies on red blood cell collections, studies on platelet apheresis, whereby a particular component of blood can be collected from an individual. These technologies are there today in some advanced countries. We shall have exposure to that. And then we can benchmark as a country and we start collecting. This will help in avoiding wastages. Why would we take the whole blood with all the components of blood? But this time around, we can collect. And that is on collection level. On processing and laboratory testing, we're going to learn quite more on what has been researched, on what has been implemented, and then we can benchmark what testing algorithms are being used in those countries, what more equipment is being used in testing and processing blood in those laboratories in the developed countries. We shall also learn much and also benchmark what we can adopt and use in this country. We shall also continue look at issuing. In other words, we are looking at the whole cold chain, from blood collection until the patient, the vein-to-vein process. How is blood being issued out? What processes are being used? What equipment are being used? We shall go and know who has received our blood. At some point, we shall learn on how can we get to know who has received this unit of blood in the hospital? Whom has it saved? How can we give feedback to this individual who donated the blood? And also, how can we get feedback from the health facility that transfuses? All these technological advancements are there. People have researched on them. People have implemented them. And now in Uganda, we shall benefit. And as a country, we shall benefit a recognition for contributing to science, for contributing to saving lives using advanced technologies, using the advanced innovations. So it is going to be very important in this country to have this Congress. It is also going to contribute to our country in terms of the tourism. We shall have so many tourists here, shall have many people coming from overseas coming here to also know what happens in Uganda, to also know which country are they talking about. In the past, a lot of bad is known about Uganda. They're talking of Idi Amin, they're talking of what, they're talking of poverty, but let people come and see how better we are. So this Congress is going to expose our country in terms of science, in terms of technology, socially, in terms of trade, in terms of the hospitality industry. The Congress is going to benefit the country. The clinicians in this country are going to benefit. These hospital directors, the scientists, the lab technologists, the social workers in this country, in the health sector, are going to benefit because they're going to learn quite a lot in this. Social networking is going to be there, in which most of our country institutions in the health sector, in the hospitality industry, in the trade are going to benefit. And as a country, we shall benefit.
Now, when you talk about these are going to benefit. Most of the times, listening to you, you are more of us getting from them.
Yeah.
What do we have to offer to them? How are we standing? Do we have major breakthroughs? Is there any? Are we using the archaic old age of dated technology? How are we standing as a country when it comes to blood transfusion services? I still see those old beds being put there, people lying, taking biscuit soda, you know. What is there for us to offer to the world?
Yeah, our scientists have been working very hard. They have also been in research. They have also, in many areas of blood transfusion, they will present these papers to these people. We have also better infrastructure now in the country. We have also acquired some better infrastructure. Our blood banks are purpose-built. People will also look at Uganda and say, oh, this is right. Oh, this is something we also don't have. Of course, different countries in Africa and in the world are at different levels of development. These guests that will come here will also see some change. The way we do it, the way we also issue our blood out, they will also benchmark what we are doing in this country. They will also look at our hotel industry. The Commonwealth Speak Resort is not something to overlook. It is on international standards. They will look at it. They will enjoy it. They will enjoy our good sceneries. They will, in this country, some of them will take tours. They will have some excursions, and they will look at Uganda. And they will also benefit, I can assure you, in this conference.
We are still looking at the 11th Africa Society for Blood Transfusion Congress that is going to be held in Kampala, Uganda, be more specific at the Speak Resort Munyonyo from the 11th. And we are seeing what is there for Uganda, but how relevant, how important is this in the realm of blood transfusion in our country. And with me, I have the coordinator, blood donor services at the Uganda Blood Transfusion Services under the Ministry of Health. Now, when we talk about the various breakthroughs that we've had as a country in terms of blood transfusion, we still have challenges. That blood, much as it's being cheap or it's being free of charge, we still have a number of areas where people have to pay for the blood. And the question has always been, why are people paying for blood? Yet, we donate. I don't know any person who is given money for their blood. The least I see is maybe some soft drinks and biscuits. I don't know why you don't advance to something better than that, or maybe a better meal after. But that is what is being given to people. And it's not that they're donating to eat or drink those, but it's out of passion, it's out of knowing how important, or maybe went to school. Sometimes it attracts. I remember the first time I donated blood was because I saw people donating, you know. Said, let me also give it a try, however painful it was. So it's a disturbing question.
Sure.
Why do we pay for this blood? It's supposed to be free of charge.
Well, thank you very much, but very sorry for the feeling you have, the sentiments you are trying to put in this question. The whole thing is that blood is not for sale. It is very clear, blood is a drug like any other drug, only that you cannot just pick it on the shelf in a pharmacy. But in this country, blood is not for sale, to be very honest. Unfortunately, we still have some people who are corrupt, who are very unethical, that they are involved in this vice. But also, I need to make it very clear that blood sale is not as what people say about it. Maybe some people do not understand. Like in the private facilities, they will charge the giving sets, they will charge the patient care, but they will charge for grouping this blood to ascertain the compatibility of this blood with the patient's blood. But people maybe are not explained to these charges because they never come out of these health facilities on discharge with receipt saying blood sold, receipting for blood sold. I think the clinicians out there and the facilities out there, the management of these facilities need to make some of these issues very clear. when they are billing, because people tend to feel that because their patients were transfused, maybe it is because of blood. That's why maybe the bill is high. But they need to be really told and explained to these bills so that people do not take it that blood is sold. But in some cases where you find like how other drugs are being sold and they are got having been sold in some facilities, yet the drugs are not for sale in all public facilities in this country, it is a very bad vice. It is a corruption. It is a form of corruption. The buyer and the seller are both offenders, and they should be prosecuted if caught. But to be very honest, blood in this country is not for sale. Our blood bag is written on, not for sale. It's clearly written there on the blood bag, not for sale. And I would like to appeal to many people out there that if anyone is trying to sell you this blood, please inform us. Make calls to our blood bank. Our blood banks are very open. Our blood collection centers are very open in this country. Our addresses are very well known. It is very important that such a vice, if someone suspects it, it is reported, it is followed up to the last. And these people, if caught, they can be very well prosecuted. Because like a stop on sale of any government drugs, blood is a drug. People should not sell this blood. It is given freely. It should be given freely to the patients in need of it. The government puts in a lot of money, a lot of resources in blood banking, in blood collection, in mobilization of communities, in processing and testing and dispatching this blood to health facilities. To ensure that this blood, in the safety of this blood, the government puts in a lot of money. And this blood should be given freely to the citizens of this country, to all those that need it, to even the non-citizen, to whoever needs this blood in this country. I still emphasize that blood is not for sale, and it should not be sold. And whoever is caught trying to sell this blood or trying to ask for money, to extort money from whoever needs this blood.
Some private hospitals will tell you are charging storage.
That's what I was trying to tell you, that these private facilities need to always explain to their clients that we have charged funds for a giving set of this blood. We have charged for nursing care. We have charged for grouping, to establish blood grouping, to establish the compatibility of the blood, which they have, and for the patient. This is, there's lack of...
So with that leeway, don't you think it creates these exorbitant fees? Someone tells you they need 800 for blood transfusion.
Well, I don't think, and
they need, because
I've
these are
not
cases
heard of such charges anywhere that are very exorbitant. But it is...
Because if they won't tell you that they need 50, no, because blood grouping, I don't know the cost. I'm not an expert there. I don't think it can go for...
It's a very small fee. It could be less than 10,000.
Yes, but now when someone says that they have asked for this amount of money for blood transfusion, even if a person would disguise under storage, then grouping, the costs are usually very high, not cheap at all in any way. I think that you must interest yourself most when it comes to private hospitals. Now, you said here you're going to be sharing experiences, looking at modern sciences, breakthroughs, but let's go to the quality of what we are giving Ugandans, the quality of the blood that we are giving. I've heard, though not confirmed. I've heard, though not confirmed, because I've not taken further steps to investigations. But it's very good when you have people like you. Sometimes these may be just mere allegations, but when you have authorities like you to clarify or better explain. A person who says, I fell sick, I had a blood transfusion, then they allege that after they were found HIV positive. And I've had families who say, well, we won't allow our person to get a blood transfusion. We better do whatever it takes, more drinks, this and that, because it is risky. How safe is that blood? So when you talk about storage, when you talk about quality, you said government invests so much in this process. Throw more light into this direction. These possibilities there.
Whereas we need blood, we need safe blood in the first place. And safety of this blood starts with a blood donor at selection level. How are we selecting our blood donors? We collect our blood donors, our blood, and from blood donors that are in low-risk communities. And that is why we rely more on the schools. The young people, most of them are safe. Their blood is usually safe. And when you come to donate blood, you go through a procedure in which pre-donation counseling is done and probe is done to ascertain someone's social behavior and to ensure that, well, as we are collecting this blood, it is safe blood. This blood is taken to the blood banks where it is tested and processed through a lot of processes. And we have modern testing algorithm that can detect the virus in very, very few days. We are currently using the NAT, the nucleus acid testing technology, where the window period has been very, very much reduced in terms of time. So our blood is safe. Before we issue this blood, we ensure it is safe from blood transfusion transmissible infection, the hepatitis B, hepatitis C, HIV, and syphilis. We try to ensure that it is safe. We have now a better technology. I think we are like the second in Africa with that technology. And sincerely speaking, we are really not doing bad in terms of safety. However, you need to know that blood transfusion is a conservative treatment in the sense that it is only given when it is a last resort. It is only given when it is a last resort. Bearing in mind that blood can also carry infections. Yeah, but we try our best in terms of technology, right from blood collection, processing, and issuing to the patient, and transfusion to the patient. We make sure it is a safe unit of blood that a patient receives. Thank you.
Now, let's go from step one. You said the donor plays a very big factor.
Yeah.
When getting this blood, I don't usually see HIV testing carried out.
Yeah.
However, they are told that if you want to know, then they can disclose that, I think, at a later date. So just imagine the high number of liters you consume that could be of positive people. What do you do then with that blood?
When definitely we collect this blood,
you come to UBC, there's a blood donor. We are about, just assuming, I don't have the records right, maybe about 500 staff, and then out of the 500, inevitably there could be those that are on their HIV treatment, or they are not yet aware of their status. Now you pick about a liter from a person, you pick about 200 liters. Now if per se, viewers, these are just assumptions, if maybe 50 bags, 50 units are found positive, are you going to pour? What happens?
What happens when we collect this blood? First of all, we don't test on spot.
Yes.
We don't do it instantly at the blood donation site. It is taken to the blood bank, and it goes under a very, very, very serious process through whereby we are using the modern technologies in testing this blood. Any unit that is found to carry some infection is not issued for transfusion. And because of education and sensitization and the pre-donation counseling by the technical teams that we have in the blood transfusion service in Uganda, we ensure that any slight mistake or anything like blood which is affected is very, very, very minimal. That the chances are very minimal that we have collected a unit that is unsafe. And our percentage of the infection for HIV is less than 1% in the blood donor community. This shows how efficient we are in our selection criteria in trying to minimize the risks with this blood. So any unit that we find definitely is not transfused, and it is not taken out, it is disposed of course, in a safe way. But we cannot really give it to an individual.
Okay, now I'll be going for a short break. When I return, we'll dive deeper into the Congress that is going to be held at the Speaker's Resort Munyonyo on the 11th. How do you be part of this great conference? What is needed? How many days? More about that, but that is when we return. Keep it with us.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Welcome to Dade Nursery and Primary School Luzira, a school that gives your child a positive learning environment that makes them feel comfortable and safe. We are a progressive year-round nursery and primary school, providing a child-centered approach to early learning, collaborative family atmosphere, and a safe, inspiring environment that encourages exploration and creativity. Dade Nursery and Primary School offers a wide range of co-curricular activities that promote teamwork, physical and mental development, including ballet, soccer, basketball, piano, and home economics. Admissions are in progress from baby class to P7, starting from the 8th of January to the 5th of February 2024. Find us at the first left turn after Oryx Service Station towards Luzira.
In the production process of Aquafina, we expertly filter every drop, providing clear and perfect tasting water to help you keep hydrated with the added benefit of minerals. Aquafina is bottled by Pepsi Cola International in Uganda and is available at only 1,000 shillings.
Get value for your money by choosing the right paint. With Global Paints, you don't just paint, but paint for generations to come. Make Global Paints a paint of choice and make your building a paradise. We have weather coat emulsion, undercoat emulsion, silk vinyl emulsion, flat emulsion, super gloss, and high gloss. Global Paint, a reliable product.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Welcome back from that break, and thank you so much for being with us on UBC TV. It is Good Morning Uganda Extra, and we are discussing the 11th Africa Society for Blood Transfusion Congress that is going to be meeting at Speak Resort Munyonyo from the 4th to the 7th of March this very year. The dates are from the 4th to the 7th of March this very year. Now, you cannot afford to miss this opportunity if you're in the line of blood transfusion, maybe selling equipment and all that. There's so much that is there. But I have a guest, those that have just joined. I have Michael Mukundane Chakamara, who happens to be the coordinator, blood donor services at the Uganda Blood Transfusion Services Ministry of Health, with whom you're discussing more on this. Now, who are your targeted guests for this Congress?
The Congress targets scholars in blood transfusion services, the medical people in all these health facilities who use this blood, hospital directors, laboratory technologists, the scientists, researchers. We are also targeting the business community, dealing in medical equipment, transfusion equipment. We are also targeting the professors, the lecturers in universities, in these medical schools. We are also targeting the corporate institutions out there, the business community. We are targeting the business community. Institutions like NSSF, they can join us, National Water, the MDAs, these entities, government ministries, the government entities, the parliamentarians, policymakers, all these are being targeted for this conference, and they are welcome. And they can register and attend this conference by registering on www.afsbt, African Society for Blood Transfusion, Kampala.2024. We have a website where they can register. We are targeting all these institutions of higher learning. If they can make it, they can make it. The registration fee is $400. They can register, pay the fee, and join us on the 3rd to the 7th of March at Speak Resort Munyonyo for this conference.
Is it 3rd or 4th?
From the
4th to the 7th?
From the 4th to the 7th of March for this conference. And they come and share the knowledge, share the experience, share the expertise, exhibit their items, those who are dealing in the medical equipment, those who are having services that they have. The banks out there are invited to join us. The financial institutions are invited to join us. All those, everyone is a beneficiary in this. The blood donors out there, they can join us. They are free to come, register, and join us for this conference, as it has many, many benefits. People in the tourist industry, the tourism industry, they can also join us. The Minister of Tourism, Trade, you are all invited. So many people are invited in this conference. The students are paying a lower fee. They can join us for this conference also and learn more, People in the private sector, the private health service providers, those hospitals, those health facilities we are talking about, you are encouraged to join us in this congress. It's an international congress. You will learn more, you will benchmark a lot, you will enjoy the conference. The media should join us. The television people, the radio stations, you're invited to join us in this conference, to publicize the congress, to ensure that the knowledge, the information got in this congress trickles down to the people. You are all most welcome. This congress, please register on www.africansocietyforbloodtransfusion.kampala.2024.
Well, that said, it is quite a big list of people that you're targeting to be having at this conference. The business community, maybe those are in equipment and all that. Then the students, of course, we need more of this. But this is a 2-day event. What are actually, when we look at 3-day, when you look at from the 4th to the 7th, what really is going to be entailed in here?
First,
is it residential, non-residential?
Yeah, it's residential for those who want to stay there, and especially the guests from outside Uganda, and even those who are not living in Kampala, who cannot easily access every day, because if you're traveling from Arua, you may not come every day. You may have to have to book a residence here where you can stay for these days to enjoy the conference. There are those who may come, report, and go back to their homes, where they live. It is so welcome. But the most important issue is to attend. The issue is attending. When you arrive at 8, you're in the conference. By the time these different lectures, different activities of the conference that are going to take place, by the time they end, you can go back. Then come the following day, and the following day, and the following day. The President of the Republic of Uganda is going to open this conference.
He's expected to open.
He is expected to open this Congress. Yes.
Now, that said, still I'm more interested in what is going to be transpiring. I heard you talk of come and showcase what you have. Are you having an exhibition? You know, if you're at liberty to give us more of the program, and you know, for that someone gets a better picture of what they're likely.
Many stakeholders and partners are booking space to exhibit. There are those exhibiting the equipment, their new technologies, their services, their new discoveries. You may have an app, for example, that can help in blood collection, in blood donor mobilization. You can come and showcase. You could be having a technology on testing, on processing the blood. You are invited to come and exhibit it. And then we can learn more from it. You can sell it to the outside world. Since there are so many countries in the world participating, there may be countries interested in your technology. Like companies like Abbott are coming on board. Very many companies are coming on board. So we expect so many people to come and exhibit their products and services. The tourism industry, they should come in. The banking industry, they should come in and exhibit their services and products.
Well, we are still looking at the 11th Africa Society for Blood Transfusion Congress that is going to be happening at the Speak Resort Munyonyo, starting from the 4th to the 7th of March, which is next month, this very year. So please do not miss being part of this, because my visitor or our guest this morning has told us there is so much opportunity that is there for you. And yes, I see time is flying, but as we move out of here, let me just have your parting shot as to why one shouldn't miss.
Like I've just said, you shouldn't miss this opportunity. To learn.
Okay, learning, yes.
To interact. To benchmark. To get to know a lot. And for Ugandans, come and showcase your research. Come and show what you have done, what new technologies, what advancements, what innovations you are having, and what other people have from outside. You may pick a leaf and then implement in either your private health facility, implement at your workplace, implement in Uganda. Many policy makers are there. There are many things we shall learn on policy. Because they are going to present evidence-based papers. It's not, there's no assumption. What they are presenting, they have done it. They have researched, and it has worked. So for Ugandans, it's a lot of learning, especially for Ugandans. We shall benefit as a country. Our Ugandan scientists will be recognized for their contribution to science. Those who have done papers, they're going to present these papers. Because there are many, especially those in transfusion. There are a lot of transfusion reactions. Some people will come and know and learn what are they doing in averting these transfusion reactions, what remedies, what solutions are there to mitigate problems in transfusion services, in blood banking services. So I can assure you, as a country, people are going to benefit. And of course, like I told you about the safety of this blood, I need to emphasize that our blood is safe. Before I part, I need to tell you that since our blood is collected from voluntary, non-remunerated blood donors 100%, by the time someone walks in to say, I want to donate blood, is sure the blood is safe, he has adequate blood, and can share with our patients. There's no one who is going to be there not feeling well to come and give us this blood. I need to emphasize that and to assure the public that the blood in Uganda we are collecting is safe. We are also issuing out blood that is safe. And I encourage so many people out there to donate blood. I also encourage people there to join us in the conference. The major issue today is that we want people to participate in this congress. It's an international congress. We are meeting expertise. Expertise are coming in the area of medicine, in the area of science in general, and we are going to learn more.
Well, thank you so much, Michael Mukundane Chakamara. Thank you so much for your time. He is the coordinator, blood donor services at the Uganda Blood Transfusion Services under the Ministry of Health. Thank you so much for your time. And of course, our viewers, I cannot live without thanking you, those that were with us from 6:30 till now, and those are going to continue. Thank you very much. We treasure, we love you, we cherish you so much every weekday waking up with us. And we promise the very best. So catch you tomorrow, same time from 6:30 till 10 a.m. Robert Cherabo Nyonyintono wishing you a lovely day for God and my country. See you tomorrow.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.